A lot of sayings came from the Middle Ages that we say today that, well, maybe you don't, but a lot of people do. Baker's dozen.
I used to we were talking about being a wrestler, and I would what would I say? I'd want to be the baker's dozen. As that was my wrestling move. The bake.
What is it?
I don't remember what it was. What was it? It was something like that. I was called the baker. My wrestler, I would have been the baker, and my move would have been the baker's dozen.
Okay.
You give them one more after they're done.
It'd have been 12 punches and then a Stone Cold Stunner.
Oh, a 13th right on top.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I like that.
I just made that up. That part I made up right now because I don't remember what it was before. But I was the baker, Nate the baker, and then my buddy P, we'd call him PP the pronoun, and he would come in and teach a lesson on. I forget what his move was. His nickname was P.
PP the pronoun.
PP the pronoun. Nate the baker and PP the pronoun come in.
Can't believe they didn't take off. But basically, bakers were accused of selling underweight loaves, so legislation was put in place to make sure they didn't. So to make sure they didn't sell underweight, they would start giving an extra piece of bread away with every loaf.
Because they were so they had to give.
Yeah.
Had to give another one.
Yeah. And then someone's like, "I'm doing it already," and they will give an extra. Well, then they for sure probably went low.
Yeah.
It was almost like, "Oh, well, we were giving you a full, and now we're not."
Nest egg. Peasants used to collect eggs from chickens, and they would leave one egg in there it would encourage the chickens to continue laying eggs in the same nest. So now it's thought of as like something you keep.
Nest egg.
Yeah, a little extra money on the side, but it was done to keep an egg in there to keep the hens laying eggs in that same area.
I mean, just explaining this to these people now, like, because the nest egg that's like retirement, right? Like, yeah,
just something in savings.
Like we talk about that. Oh, you're keeping a little nest egg.
Yeah, nice little nest egg.
And they'd be like, well, that doesn't make sense because it's what it means is an actual egg.
No, we just get our eggs from the Publix.
From the store.
Yeah.
Sink or swim. This is a good one. It's a medieval practice of judging whether a person was innocent or guilty by casting him or her into a lake. The belief was that water would not accept anyone who had rejected the water of baptism. So if the victim sunk, they were innocent, but if they floated, they were guilty. So either way, you're not going to...
I mean, were people learning how to swim back then?
I think they would like tie you. Like you couldn't just try to swim. They tie you up and throw you in. And if you floated, then you're guilty.
I mean, were there people floating?
Probably not.
I can float.
Huh?
I can float.
But if you're tied to something.
Oh.
Maybe you're just your arms, like
a dunk tank,
not weighted down, but you can't. I don't think swimming was allowed.
If you're looking at it going, well, one way or the other way, there has to be the other way has to have worked, or you wouldn't be no other way. You know, someone's got to go. They're gonna, there's not a person going. They're gonna sink. Everybody sinks. You're tying a boulder.
Yeah, some people must have been floating.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, oh, okay. And one guy floats, and then they look back at him and like, oh, where are you at now? He goes, okay. Well, now I'm a little convinced.
Yeah. Either way, you're probably going to die. You're either going to drown or found guilty, and then they'll kill you.
If they think they think you're a witch anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one. I mean, once you get called a witch, I don't think there's much. I don't think you get out of it. You don't. There's no talking. There's not like, all right. Everybody's got to like kind of looking at you like, why did I even, you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna, once a witch, always a witch. Like you're
right. You're not going to rebrand yourself.
Yeah.
Stereotyped.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people being called witches during the Black Death, by the way. A lot of people thought that they were causing it.
Yeah.
Pay through the nose. The Vikings did this. If someone did not pay, they suffered punishment by having their nose slit.
No, wait.
It's kind of a weird,
Your nose slit?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know if I want to know.
Okay.
Probably a knife.
Yeah, I know. But in what way?
Probably cut.
Voldemort type?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Vikings did whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah.
They were kind of their own. They beat at their own drum.
Mm-hmm.
Also, probably Middle Ages.
Probably so. Don't kill the messenger. I think you guys could probably figure that one out.
Yeah.
A lot of messengers were being killed after they brought the king bad news. So finally, laws were enacted to protect messengers from such events.
Oh, that was don't kill the messenger was a law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like then the court gesture.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll tell him.
I'll make it funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bouncers. Bouncers came from the Middle Ages.
Oh wow.
They used to make you give a coin before you walked into a tavern.
Coin.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sorry, what did I say?
Cone. Basically cone. I don't know. It's
Coin.
lebanon for you.
Coin. A coin.
Yeah.
Oil.
Yeah. I know. I say stuff wrong. Too.
No, I say it like that too.
Yeah.
Will and will. People are still confused about what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Will and wheel.
We've done it
Wheel.
twice, and they're
Yeah.
like, we have no idea what you guys are
Yeah.
talking about. A coin you had to give at the front of the door, and the guy at the door would bounce it to see if it was real or not. And if it didn't bounce, that means it was a fake coin.
And then now we have bouncers. So the guy at the door was there to check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now they
Yeah.
just do it with IDs.
but that's why they're
Yeah.
called bouncers.
Yeah.
is because
They still throw IDs at the ground to see if
That's
they're real.
crazy that these words stay around.
I know.
Uh-huh.
This is a lot of words that you hear.
Get off your high horse.
Yeah.
Stuff you don't even think
Mm.
about.
I think of that a lot.
You think about what it means.
No, just what I have to
Yeah.
a lot of people.
It was.
I say this one regularly. Go ahead.
During the noble times, nobles were given a taller breed of horse to ride to signify their status and authority. Often commoners would tell each other to get off their high horse when one was acting like a nobleman.
Makes perfect sense.
I think they measure the horses, you know?
I think they're just so much bigger. You don't need to measure them. They're just
Yeah.
like a different breed.
Oh, like what is the
They could-
Anheuser-Busch ones?
The Clydesdales.
Clydesdales.
They could have all been on miniature horses and they wouldn't know. And then
Yeah.
you give the nobles real horses.
Yeah. I mean, I think if someone listened to this podcast in the Middle Ages, they would turn it off. And they wouldn't even understand what they were hearing because it's technology. They would think it's magic and they would go, God, just
Still bored.
They would still get bored
so
with it.
bored with just, I mean, it'd be witchcraft. If we dumped this Nateland podcast into the 600s, they would ask, their first thing they would do is find the off button.
You want to hear this thing?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
Can I give a couple more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caught you red-handed.
Mm.
This phrase comes from the 12th century practice of dipping a thief's hand in berry dye. The dye would soak into the skin and stain the hand for several weeks and serve as an act of public humiliation of being convicted. All who saw the red-handed person knew he was a thief and a criminal.
Wow.
You didn't get away with a lot of stuff back then,
Nope.
you know?
It was. What do you mean?
I mean, your hand's red for a month after you do something.
I know, but it was probably hard to get caught.
But if you
You
did
know,
get
But
caught,
if you did get
But
caught,
you did get caught, like, yeah, they weren't going to take it easy on you.
yeah.
you're going to publicly know about it.
Right.
Xerox. That was actually a person. It was
Yeah.
a scribe who copied a bunch of history into different languages. So the company was named after him because they're a copy company.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do one more here. Nate's leaning forward like, God, wrap this
Yeah.
up. Please.
There's Xerox.
Oh man, I'd like to explain him what goes on at the real Xerox store. And he goes, "Where do y'all write all the stuff down?" They go, "Oh no, most of us can't even write." And he goes, "Wow."
I'll give one more. Give someone the cold shoulder. In the Middle Ages, lords and nobles were often faced with the common problem of getting rid of unwanted or obnoxious guests at feasts and gatherings. So they would serve the guest a cold shoulder of meat, the toughest and most undesirable portion of a roast. This was a symbol in giving the guest enough of a hint that he or she have overstayed their welcome.
Yeah. This looks good.
You talk about passive aggressive.
Did you guys heat He starts just touching everybody else's. And he's like, huh. But and it would just be the guy that eats it. And just goes, no, I love the cold shoulder. How many of those guys were there?
Just
There has
won't
to be a
take the
lot of
hint,
them.
just won't.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
go, you know what? I asked for the cold shoulder. Just the toughest part of the one. All right. Was there other? There's like a lot more.
I mean, there's a few more here. Apple of my eye.
Oh God, I thought you meant like more other stuff besides
Oh,
sayings.
all right, we'll wrap it up then.
I mean, oh my Lord.
I thought you meant.
Oh goodness.
Wait, what is
I
apple in
mean,
my eye?
Yeah,
Tell me
no, we'll move
afterwards.
on.
What is
Tell me
apple in
later.
my eye? You might as well say now.
The pupil of the eye was known as the apple because it was the most cherished part
Yeah.
of the eye. Because,
Yeah.
so they
It's a
call it-
big deal.
yeah.
I mean,
We got one more. That's the worst one.
yeah.
I wasn't going to tell it, but then I thought that's what he was
I
asking
know,
for.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I lobbied for it, man. I was like, we'll get him back with this one, Brian.
No, I was going to end
We'll
on
get
cold
him.
shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. When I said, "Is there more?" I thought that meant like, "Is there another like little fact?"
All right, I'll throw
outside
out
of
one
the
more little
words?
fact. I just
Yeah.
listened to what you're saying.
Yeah. We hit them all.